Welcome to another episode of Rømø on Tour. Last night we camped at a camper place near Ringkøbing, almost between these beautiful cows with big horns. And today we will continue along the coast, heading south, where we had found another camper place on the water side. We saw from the coastline the Island Mandø. After some research, we read that this island could be reached by car. But if you see a warning sign with this picture and without a tide table, I don't know what you would do, but we took no risk. The 7 kilometer long road runs over a gravel dike across the Wat to Mandø. Mandø is the smallest livable wooden island in Denmark. Its area is 8 square kilometers. The island is quiet because at high tide the island cannot be reached.
We are halfway now. We walked. I think we're halfway. Do you think?
I think.
You mean yes? Okay. Oh, we will see when we're back in our camper van. This is the road we walked. And this is the way to the island. And far in the distance you can see already a bit of the island. And you can see also the dike.
But also the buses. See buses are coming.
Oh yeah, I see.
I don't know if you can see it on camera, but
Somewhere here. 3 buses. Pulled by a tractor. Yes.
So we're having breakfast so in a moment, together with the sheeps.
In the quietness.
Yes.
the touring bus to Mandø.
According to the tide table, it would be low tide the next morning at 8:30 a.m. And we took the courage to drive our bus over the 7 kilometer long gravel dike to Mandø. And what you can expect, it is a bumpy ride. The wooden area is a paradise for bird watchers. The maximum speed is 25 kilometers, and everyone we meet also drives very carefully. Just like in a Dutch wooden area, sheep feel at home here. Once we arrive on the island, we see that it is indeed a small island, which is said to have 70 people living there, and which also attracts some nature lovers as tourists. We found a nice parking spot near an amphibious vehicle. Time for a cup of coffee. And what kind of vehicle? All-wheel drive for swampy land, a waterjet drive for the sea, and a gangway that really seems made for tourists. And now back quickly before the high tide comes and we have to wait for at least 12 hours. And another bus full of tourists to visit the island of Mandø. And again, another bus. The maximum speed is only 25 kilometers to the road surface, so it's great to be able to film along the way. And we are back to the place where we started.
Track.
Today we visit the Viking Center in the south of Ribe.
This church is supposed to be 9th century, so it is a little bit 100 years too young, but it is the closest we can get to what the Vikings would hear when this new belief came from south, when the Christians came, when the first churches were built. And we know that the missionary and archbishop of Hamburg, Rømø and Skar, he got allowance from the Danish king to build a church in Ribe and in Island in the middle of the 9th century. The Danish king was Horik II. He was not a Christian himself, he was never baptized, but probably he saw an advantage in having a church because we were trading a lot with Christian peoples south of the border. And of course they would prefer to go to somewhere where their own God had a house also. So when you came along the coast in the Wadden Sea and sailed the river of Ribe, the first thing you would see on the south side of the river was the church or the church tower. So that we can feel comfortable. We know many people were afraid to come and trade with the Vikings, these pagans and wild ones. And when you come a little closer, you will, with your Viking ship, or not Viking, trading ship, you will see on the other side of the river, on the north side of the river, we have this huge international trading marketplace, and behind that a whole town comes in the 9th century.
Happy church.
Viking ships. But I think, Rob, these ships are very small. In my imagine, a Viking ship was much, much taller.
Drying your fishing nets
drukken.
Ja. On a lure, that's just, you could give it to a child or a grown-up who have never tried to play something, and then they can after 5 minutes they can because it's so it's so easy. The lure is already known in the Iron Age.
Okay.
About 600
Yes.
after Christ.
Okay.
They have found lure.
Oh, do you have an eagle?
Sorry?
Do you have an eagle?
No, that's a falcon.
A falcon, okay. A large one?
Training.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we're coming up at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Having the display, yeah?
Okay, I will meet you there.
Yeah. Just one more here, yeah?
7 years old, a Sacred Falcon from the Middle East, at a max dive in 250 miles an hour. Falcons sees the world about 10 times faster than you think, 10 times more frames per second we do. It's all the Al, and Spencer, 12 years old, was actually an old gentleman. Eating the water, trying to lure with fake prey, and when we're going on a hunt, he's taking down a wheel prey, a quail, a grouse, a duck, or whatever. You can take it, kill it, land out there, they never come back with it. Then start eating immediately. So you have to rush over to the bird, find him as quick as possible, and then you always have to meet with your bag or pocket. Then you're going in, offering something else. And here the workshop of the blacksmith.
And the brick in will either lift up a color or lower it down. So the direction determines what pattern I make on the upper side of the band.
Wow.
And now I need to go backwards, I can see in my pattern. So I will go like this, and turn all of the bricks back towards me.
Yes.
Like this. And then I have to make sure the threads are in the right place. Go through. So now I do it again. So you see I'm making a diamond pattern. So I went out all the way I could, so now I have to make them go in again. Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah. But this is a very simple one because I have to do the same thing every time, either forwards or backwards. If I'm making one of the others,
Yes.
I have to turn each brick individually.
Okay.
It goes in a different direction.
A nice wool. Yes. Did you heat it also, or
Yes, yes, I'm gonna heat that together with the wool.
Yes.
You have to put the wool into the cold water so you don't shock it because it gets stuck together then.
Yes.
So you have to heat it gently together, all together to like about 70 degrees.
Yes.
And then, yeah, the color will stuck to the wool that I prepared at home already with, we call it Alaun in Germany. It's the same same chemical like it's in urine,
Yes.
but it's synthetic
Okay.
because yeah, it's a little bit too much. Yeah, so I did that at home already. So I just can start the dyeing process here.
Yes. Wow.
Oh.
And did you make your own?
Close?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Not all of them. Some we bought to start out, so I have a piece where I can like take the cuts from.
Yes.
But mostly I do them myself here.
Wow. Nice. Nice to meet you.
And the carpenter's workshop.
Axe type here. It's completely straight on this side.
Yes.
So you see the angle on the
Oh
blade is
yes.
like this.
Yeah. I see.
And also the handle.
Yes. It's a little carved. Yes.
So actually you are able to make completely straight edges with
Yeah.
this. So with this
And with that.
and that, you can make completely straight.
Wow.
And so ends our visit to the Viking Center. With a last goodbye, we go on tour again. So, good morning. It's a bright and shiny day today. Today we start to drive to the island of Rømø. We've never been there, and now come on, join us. We have lunch on the beach while we watch in amazement the amazing types of campers passing by.
by the Sea is a 9-meter high sculpture group in the Danish city of Esbjerg. It was designed by sculptor, painter and graphic artist Sven Wiek Hansen. The sculptures are made of white concrete and depict 4 seated men looking out over the water of the Wadden Sea. The sculptures were built on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the city of Esbjerg. The sculptures can be seen from 10 kilometers offshore. Our last camper night overstay was in Germany with a view over the river Weser. We chatted with the neighbor about his special overland camper. This is where our last episode from Denmark ends. We hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Don't forget to like or subscribe.